You're now listening to the Cerberus Gridiron Podcast. And now your hosts, Christian and Kris, powered by Cerberus Fantasy Sports.
Let's go. Welcome everybody out there to the Cerberus Gridiron Podcast. This is episode 16. I'm your host, Christian_CFS, and here's our co-host, Mr. Kris.
What up, my good people? What up? Shalom, Al-Kim to you all, my good people, and shalom to my bad ones too.
I was about to say, you got to say something about them bad ones out there.
Got to see it. Maybe they get some peace in their life and be better.
Yeah, hopefully they do get some peace. Well, we got a show for you this week. We are going to be talking about the week 3 highs, lows, questions of the weeks, in the news. We just got a show for you. Just so sit back, relax, and let us entertain you. And then also let us know, like, if there's some other topics that you want to actually have that like we're not talking about, just go leave it up in the comments and like we'll respond. We'll have a little conversation going back and forth. But let's go and get into it. So in the CGP news this week, I think we're going to have to talk about it. We're going to have to talk about Nick Chubb. And like, what are our thoughts about his diagnosis? Which it is, from what we did see, it might not be as scary as what everybody thought it was, the severity. But they did confirm that he did tear his MCL.
Okay, that's the one.
The MCL is on. I'm not a doctor, anybody. It's on the inside of the inside of your knee.
Right, but I'm saying that was the same that he tore his MCL before, though, right?
I'm not a doctor.
Well, I mean, the injury he had, what was it, 2015 or whatever he had? Was it LCL, MCL, and I think PCL is what he tore. ACL still stayed intact, and it sounds like, if I'm not mistaken, the ACL is still intact, and now the MCL is torn again, right? Is that wrong?
That's what it sounds like right now.
Okay. Hey, blessings. That's the truth. Blessings to Nick Chubb. Man, we all thought his career was over.
But people are still saying that it is like he might have to end up having like 2 different types of surgeries just to fix the knee.
Mm-hmm.
Which we all know that having anybody get hurt up in the NFL league, we do not wish it upon them.
No.
Now, there probably are some bad people out there that be wishing injuries on folks and everything, but
don't do that. I hate injuries. I want everybody to play. I want everybody at their 100%. When I'm on Madden, I turn the injuries down because I want everybody at their peak. I don't want no excuses. I hate injuries.
Can't stand the injuries. Is there anybody else out there that you think we need to be talking about up in the news?
In the news?
Who you think we should consider? Yep.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that was the biggest thing this week. You got anything?
Nope. That's all, everybody. Nothing else in the news. In our next segment, thank you for it. CGP News. Our next segment, we are going back to, I don't know if this is your first episode that you're actually listening to. We brought a new segment in last week, and it was the question of the week. And now we're actually going to bring it back, and we just want to see what y'all actually try to get y'all's response. So the question of last week, not of this week, but of last week was, if you had to choose in the NFL, which one was actually more important?
Oh, yeah.
Is it your head coach or is it your GM? And then, Kris, I'll let you kick it off this week and we can tell our responses. Now, if you do, leave it down there up in the comments for like last week, and then just put like hashtag last week question of the week, and then like let us see your comments down below for this is your like replay squad rewind gang, first time gang, just gang. But go ahead, Chris. Let us know which one was actually more important to you.
I said head coach, right? I said head coach last week, right?
Yeah, you said head coach.
Yeah, I said head coach last week. Yeah, because I mean, the head coach kind of translates to the field. They're the ones on the field. The GM is not on the field. You know, the GM hires the head coach, and I might have a philosophy. And if we don't agree, I'll leave it. It's up to the head coach to relay what needs to happen, I guess, to the quarterback. So I think the head coach is a lot more important than the GM, in my opinion. But if I were to choose position for me, I would want to be a GM. That's just me.
But so yeah, I'm going with I think the GM is a lot more important, and the only reason I'm saying that is because of what we have seen right now. Is so right now I'm saying the GM is more important because one person that you said is the GM chooses the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
So that's number one. So that means that me and the guy we have to be in sync together.
Got to be in sync. You have to be.
But then on top of that, I am the one that is also picking the players for the head coach as well. And then the head coach is actually the one that's trying to get the best out of the players.
Mm.
So that's why I say the GM is a lot more important. Not saying that the head coach isn't important because they're both really important.
Right.
But I would have to choose the GM because of what I just said, because the GM picks the head coach. And most likely 9 times out of 10 or 99.999, the GM and the head coach are in sync together and they have the same vision.
And the GM
and then the GM puts. You said what?
Like you said, I'm saying you said the GM draft the players and they do the contracts,
the players and everything. He might take. There are some GMs out there that just, hey, I'm gonna draft this person. Hey, you just gotta deal with them. Mm-hmm. It's your job as the head coach just to daggone just to make them perform and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
I can see that. I mean, I understand why you said the GM.
Yeah, so that's just my thoughts. That's my philosophy of me saying the GM is a lot more important than the actual head coach.
They pay the players too, you know, because their contracts. They got to pay them. They got to figure that out. So yeah, I can get it. Who was that GM? I think the Raiders GM was like, I wish we can change. I think this is before Josh Jacobs changed. Like, I wish we could, you know, make it happen. I'm like, bro, aren't you the GM? You should be able to make that happen. Unless the owner is telling you not to. But yeah.
I wanted to bring in the owner in, but I didn't. Because some owners ain't good owners. They just
at all. I can name a few off the top of my head. Mark Davis, Jim fucking Irsay.
Hey man, go and put daggone David Tepper up in that thing right now.
Is it David Tepper? You guys are more to the ground for him.
Hey man,
but that's your boy though, right? That's your boy. But you love David Tepper.
Yeah, because he's rich. Man, if you actually look, if you go back and look at his philosophy of like how he got rich, it's like, okay.
That's why you okay.
Anybody could do this. Well, never mind. Not anybody, because if anybody could do it, then there'll be a lot of people, a lot of David Tepper.
Right.
It's just like if we're going back, it's just thinking about like the owners and then how their philosophies are. That's what I'm big on, is actually looking at the owners itself. And seeing their whole philosophies of how they are visioning actually building a team. And then if their vision is actually going to come true, if they're set in their ways just to get who they want, or are they going to pivot just to go the opposite way? And a lot of them, they just set in their ways and they just keep going down the hill and not pivoting. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, like, because right now, David Tepper, he's still set up in his ways. I don't see if he's going to pivot. Even though people said they wanted an offensive-minded head coach, and we ain't doing too well right now. We're actually 0-3.
Frank Wright also. But you can't expect much from a rookie quarterback. That's y'all. Sorry to say, y'all dumb if y'all thought y'all expected much more than what you're getting. So
Yeah,
this is in my opinion. Let's just be realistic, But hey,
yeah.
everybody can't be Andrew Luck. So even
No.
Peyton Manning went 3-13.
Yeah. Yep. In the next segment, we are talking about the week 3 highs, everybody. The week 3 highs. And yes, we got a show on for y'all this week. Man, the week 3 highs this week. We're gonna run down the actual QB positions, but these players that are here that are ranked up in the top 5 right now, based off fantasy points, we thought majority of these should actually be here. So we're not gonna spend that much time up on the quarterbacks.
Right.
But when I say we're gonna spend some time up on the, I'm not gonna say it right now, but let's just go to the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks we have Mr. Justin Herbert, which about time.
What do you mean about time? He throwing that pill now. It ain't him because he ain't putting on no numbers.
Hey,
it ain't.
If he throwing the pill, but they finally got a W. They finally got a W.
Barely.
And they barely got that thing.
Barely, right.
And hey, what wasn't you the one that was talking about Kellen Moore gonna do this and Kellen Moore gonna do that?
And what he doing? The offense is thriving. Is the offense not thriving?
Hey man.
Yeah, the running game
they barely got a day. They barely got a W.
But it's not the offense though. The offense is putting up points. My point is, it's not the offense. The offense is it's that whack ass head coach that needs to go. Yes, I'm calling it. If you didn't know, I'm calling for Staley's job. I called for it 2 years ago. I damn sure called it last year when they lost that 27-0 lead in the playoffs, and that's where Sean Payton wanted to go. That's why I know Sean Payton is pissed.
So let's go back to that Sean Payton right now. Let's go to that Sean Payton right now. So if Sean Payton was actually with the Chargers right now, do you think he would have brought over Kellen Moore? Not Kellen Moore, Kellen Moore.
No, because he don't need Kellen Moore because he's the offensive minded coach, but he had the defense cracking. He had the defense cracking.
Okay.
Yeah, he wouldn't
have brought over for as his DC.
The guy he got with him now. What's his name? Nick Fangio, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Nick Fangio. Now, they did just get 70 put on them, and their defense has been lacking the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You count this week, but I don't even know who on their defense they got. Patrick Surtain. Who else they got over there? I have no idea who they have for Denver Broncos.
I don't know. Patrick Surtain.
See, okay. Now name me 3 names on the Chargers defense.
Derwin James.
Oh.
I don't know his first name, but I know it's Bosa's brother. His
okay. Brother. Joey. Yeah. What else we got?
Joey.
You can name who else?
What is his name? Because he
played at
Florida State too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Florida State now. I'm picking Texas A&M.
Yeah. There's another. Gosh. What is his name?
My point is, you can name.
But you can name more than 3 people.
Patrick Surtain. Yes. Yeah. So, but go ahead.
But then we got Justin Herbert, which he should have been there. We also got Tua. We also got Lamar, and just like what we told y'all from before, Mr. Show Your Face early up in the weeks, Mr. Kirk Cousins, because he ain't got Rock yet.
Hey.
And then you got Mr. Patrick Mahomes, which those are the top 5 in fantasy value. So those are the standards right there. But we are going to the week 3 highs of the running backs now. I'm not gonna name the top 2 right now because everybody already knows about them. But we're gonna go from the bottom up, and we're gonna talk now. I'll tell you right now, I personally am shocked that daggone Zach Moss did something.
Is he 2 weeks in a row, Christian?
That is true, but it makes me realize that, like, since we actually don't go here, it makes me real. I really want to think: will JT actually sign that contract and actually come back?
Is there a contract on the table for you?
Well, his dad going, what's his name? Just gonna come back
Oh,
and
he's
play,
fourth.
dog.
Oh, you mean his 4th year? Okay.
Yeah, is he just gonna come back and play instead of hold out? Because technically,
Yeah.
saying his ankle's hurt, dude, we already know your ankle ain't hurting. You just want the pay. And right now, dog, they just got a victory without you, dog.
The and he handed the ball. He had 30 carries, Zach Moss.
Mm-hmm. Then we also have Mr. Christian McCaffrey, which he made the list as he has been making the list for like the past 3 weeks, as he should, being the RB1 that everybody has selected. Then we had a rookie sighting from last year, Mr. KW3, Mr. Kenneth Walker.
Kenny
He
3
showed
sticks,
himself
baby.
today.
Let's go.
Man, he was doing his thing against my Carolina Panthers. Like, he ran up and down the field on us. But
3 sticks. Charbonnet who?
But,
no damn Charbonnet.
Well, Charbonnet did do some things against the Panthers. I will say he's more of like the 1-2 like punch. Like he's the thunder, but he ain't the lightning. So
right.
Yeah. I'm not gonna talk about let's gonna bring this up now. So we're gonna talk about the top 2 finishes was Mr. Devon Achane and Mr. Raheem Mostert. And with these 2 guys here, now I talked to the co-host behind enemy lines and everything, and then I'm just gonna put this out there, and then y'all tell me if I'm wrong about this or like if I'm right about this. And hear me out. I am talking about everybody being 100% healthy, 100% healthy, and yes, I'm saying healthy because you already know what I'm about to say. Do y'all think that Miami is the greatest show on turf 2.0?
I know.
And then we're talking about healthy. And everybody out there, just think about it. If this team is for damn sure healthy, I normally don't cuss up on the podcast because I try to keep it professional now. But if they so damn sure healthy, is this team the greatest show on turf 2.0? In my opinion,
we can start the conversation.
I don't think that 70 points out there is a fluke because they came pretty close last year.
They can do that.
They came pretty, and that's not even having Waddle out there. Imagine if they had Waddle out there. Could they have put up like 80? I'm not gonna say 100 because I don't even think has anybody ever put 100 in.
No, the record is like 73. So they got close today.
You want to know something? I think they was trying to get the record. I think that's the reason. That's the reason why they kept throwing it up.
We're at 60. Let's just keep it going. Let's see what we can get. Let's just keep it going. We're 2 touchdowns away. Let's go. Yeah, the record is like either 72 or 73. The record is.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts?
As far as them being the greatest show, taking 2.0, you can start the conversation.
Okay.
Because I just think
like, they ain't got no Super Bowl or anything yet, but
right, but you can start the conversation because they're and Waddle didn't even play today, and so when they're clicking on everything, look out. Now their running back obviously isn't as good as Marshall Faulk, right? Who is, but
if you have both of those 2 running backs combined doing like what they're doing, they're not Marshall Faulk, but they're able to do things like Marshall Faulk.
Faulk together,
yeah.
Runs the rookie.
But then you go back and you actually look at it. The only thing that I could think about that might disown this would be who is the Dolphins' number 3 wide receiver.
The number 3 wide
receiver. Yeah, they're number 3.
That's the number, actually, I think. look. Robbie Chosen. Who did they say? There's Braxton Berrios. I think probably Braxton Berrios, maybe. Probably number 3.
Okay.
Some other 2 people that I do not know. So I would say Braxton. I said Berrios. Raheem
Okay, the only reason why I
7
was
catches. So
Well, the only reason why I was asking is because we already know Isaac Bruce and then Torrey Holt. They're pretty much Tyreek Hill
and
and
Jalen.
Jalen Waddle. And to be honest
Mhm.
with you, both of them dudes, they daggone a lot better than Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying.
And neither one of them a cheater. So yeah.
Yeah, but then that's the thing. And then the only reason why I asked for like who was the third wide receiver was because like I know they had better than Ricky Prohl, and Ricky Prohl was pretty much their possession receiver.
Oh yeah.
But it was just I had to ask, dog. I had it.
No,
Because
we can start the conversation.
we can start
I
it.
think it's when somebody put up 70 points, you can start talking about that.
Okay. And then at the wide receivers, everybody, at the wide receivers, the highs on the wide receivers, we had Mr. Keenan Allen. Old man Keenan Allen is showing why he should have been taken where he's been taken. Actually, he might have been taken higher.
Go back to the Rashid podcast. I caught it. Keenan, he's gonna be a good year this year.
Hey, we gonna make that click right up there, up in the top right. So if y'all want to go back and count back and see if he was right or not, but then we'll continue though. We got Mr. Adam Thielen who showed up again for the Carolina Panthers. Then we had the cheetah as well, Mr. Tyreek Hill. We had Justin Jefferson and we had Mr. Tank Dell. Those were the top 5 in like wide receiver points for the week 3 highs.
Shout out Tank Dell. Shout out.
Yes, shout out to the Rook. The Rook is putting something out there. That connection is starting to show something well with Mr. CJ Stroud. And let's just say right now, Mr. CJ Stroud is the only rookie that was drafted that actually got a W. So Bryce is still looking for his wait, no. Hold on. Didn't Indianapolis beat
Yeah, I guess they did win. The Colts,
yeah.
I mean,
the
kind of a
Colts
win
won.
for him, doesn't it? Kind of a win for him. So,
yeah. Yep. So my bad. Let me go and chuck that statement, everybody.
So I was looking at my old spreadsheet. I'm sorry, cut you off, but I had Keenan Allen is 14, is 13 last year.
13 last year.
Wide receiver. I had him as wide receiver 13, right outside of wide receiver 1. I was high on him though. Go ahead.
Y'all heard that, dog. It's do not. I repeat. If you got a spreadsheet out there, dog, go and keep using y'all spreadsheets. Because
don't hit on the spreadsheets. They do.
Some people, they can just do it straight off the dome. Some people just have to put it down up in the spreadsheet. Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, man, the only rookie QB is looking for that victory is daggone Bryce Young. Hopefully he can get it up in like the next couple of weeks once he gets back up on the field. But as of right now, it ain't looking too good down here up in Carolina.
Oh, Najee might be hurt. Go ahead. What we got? Next slide.
Man, the week 3 lows. And then if everybody is not looking at, just remember to go to the YouTube channel, powered by Cerberus Fantasy Sports, where you can actually watch this YouTube video. And right now up on the thumbnail, we have Mr. DJ Moore and we have Mr. Justin Fields, Mr. 1 and 2 themselves as the week 3 lows. So at the quarterback position, it's not as long as the QBs, but we have Dak Prescott, Geno Smith, and just like what we talked about before, we have Mr. Justin Fields. And then the reason why Geno is on there is because of what he did. And like his points, his fantasy points.
Okay. He almost threw for EJ. He only had 1 touchdown. I think he had 2 picks. Where is that? See, I was looking at his stats earlier. Because he only gave like 16 points. I was like, bruh.
And that's another reason why, like, it's whenever we're whenever we're doing the, so for people to not know, like, how do you get on the week 3 lows? Yes, Gino did 16 points, but what we're thinking about whenever we're talking about in the quarterback position, if you're drafting most of your quarterbacks, you're wanting to get them. They need to at least give you 20 points.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At least 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
If they're
On
not
a
getting you
weekly
20
basis.
points, then we got to put them down up in the lows. And definitely, if they get you only up in the teens, we definitely got to do that.
I mean,
And
he had 296, but he only had 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
so, and yes, we put Justin Fields on there because right now, I don't know what's going on up in Chicago. I know a lot of people out there right now probably saying, "I told you so. I told you so. I told you so." Well, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Yeah, y'all probably told us so, but I still believe in Justin Fields. I
I
think he can
believe
do. I really think he can do what he's supposed to do. I really just don't know what's going on up in Chicago. Is it the head
they're
coach? Is it just Soldiers Field being so old that is making Justin Fields turn old now?
they're a shit show. They are a shit show. Their organization is garbage. They ain't been shit since '85. They're a shit show, and their coaching sucks. For all you real GMs out there and owners, just stop hiring defensive coordinators as your head coach. Stop it, because it's not going to end well. It does not help the quarterback at all, unless you got a Kyle Shanahan, like when he had with the Falcons when they went to the Super Bowl, and I think who was it? The head coach was defensive coordinator. Unless you got someone there, or you got a Brian Daboll, man, just stop hiring these defensive coordinators because they cannot, unless you got a veteran quarterback, they cannot progress the quarterback. And he regressed. I heard it in the offseason, they worked on pocket passing for him. I mean, yeah, but he's not really a pocket passer, man. Let
He's a
him
rollout.
RPO, right? You
He's a
don't move
rollout.
the pocket. You don't do play action. Let him roll out. Like you got to get him on the move. That's when he's best. Idiots.
Yep.
It's stupid. They're not even using his skill set to his advantage. They're a bunch of dummies. So yeah, and they're gonna stuck, and they're gonna draft a new quarterback, and they're gonna have Justin Fields on the market. But the organization it starts from the head top, from the top.
Yeah.
And I can go on for days, but it's just trash. I mean, you're not even scheming DJ Moore open. Scheme him open, get him some easy throws. Y'all just trash. Sorry. Go ahead.
Hey man, hey, that's for the people that don't know, we'll talk about it in like probably 3 to 4 minutes after we go to the wide receiver.
Oh, I thought we was talking about now. I'm sorry.
So in the running back position, we got Mr. Ramondre Stevenson, we have Mr. Bijan Robinson, Mr. Jameer
Boy.
Gibbs, and Mr. Derrick Henry. 2 of them are rookies. 2 of them are vets. But the vets that are on there, I'm kind of shocked that they're actually on there, even though Tennessee did go up against the Cleveland Browns today. But they already know like what they say about football. Once you stop the run, I'm gonna make you one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to pass, and we already know Derrick Henry ain't no passing back.
Zeke had a pretty good game today. He had an effective, efficient game today. He had a touchdown too. He had like 16 carries for 87 yards on the touchdown. So that might have hurt.
Ramondre?
16 carries, 80 yards on the game. So, yeah, so that might have hurt Ramondre a little bit today. That's probably why he's on there. Okay. No, he didn't have a touchdown, but he had 16 carries, 80 yards though. He was more efficient than.
And that's probably that's one of the things that's like really weird though. Like, well, we already know what's going to happen up in the Patriots organization. Like, whoever has the hot hand, they're gonna take a majority of the snap. So if Zeke was doing something well, then it sucks because Ramondre is the type of back that as long as he gets more touches, the more he gets, the better he ends up becoming.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'll speak a little bit. I'll speak a little bit to the rookies. So That
Okay.
that Atlanta Falcons and that Detroit game, it was a defensive game. Obviously Detroit won 20-6. So it was a defensive game. I will say that Arthur Smith, I don't know what he was doing, but he was letting Desmond Ritter throw the ball early. And I think this has got them out their rhythm. They know they're a run first team, but they weren't really running the ball. And I don't know why. And it was like he had Desmond Ritter throwing the ball when the game was still in reach. It was like they were down by 10, and they let Desmond throw the ball like they're down by 20. I'm like, what are we? Bijan had 10 carries. Tyler Algier had 7 carries. So that tells you right there, they didn't let them run the ball. Desmond Ritter had 38 passes. And you're supposed to be a run first team. You're not running 1st. So, yeah, I don't know what that was about. But go back to what you was doing. Run the damn ball. And that's why Bijan is on there. As far as Jameer Gibbs, he had 17 carries. He had 80 yards. He only had 1 catch. Jared Goff only threw the ball to really 3 people. 4 if you count Jameer Gibbs as 1 catch. But I thought on the ground, Jameer Gibbs, he was efficient. He had a couple times to get in the end zone down there inside the 5. Atlanta defense just wouldn't let him get in. So, yeah, it was a weird game. I was like, this is not. It wasn't entertaining. It wasn't. Defense has stepped up. It was a defensive game.
You know what's funny? Like whenever you said about the about Arthur Smith just doing like what you're supposed to be doing. The only thing that daggone popped in my head as you kept talking was like whenever you said run the dang ball was daggone Sandra Bullock in
Was it
in
Blindside?
Blindside whenever he was calling the coach when she was calling the coach on the sideline and was saying, "Hey Bert, just daggone run the dang ball." Just and then she was like, "Did he just hang up on me?"
Run
But
the damn
that's
ball.
just what was going through my mind. If you could put that daggone clip down there, throwing that daggone instant, that that's what the people need to see right there. Blindside of Remember the Titans, him saying, "Bert, run the dang ball."
And
That was funny.
Ritter is not good for you to be throwing the ball 38 times and only run
No,
it
he's not.
17 with your running backs. It was just it was bad play calling. Bad play calling. I don't know why he deviated from what he did the first 2 weeks. The game should be a lot closer.
Should have.
But
That's
why Bijan is on there. Right.
that's what I figured. I also thought that I think like a lot of people was talking about that game too. I'll just chime my little 2 cents. But a lot of people thought that, and this is what I was thinking too, that it shows people like how good the Detroit Lions defense actually is.
Can be. Mm-hmm.
Like whenever they are up on, like when they're all, I didn't get to watch the game, but from what I thought their defense was going to be, seeing that at the very beginning of the year, I was really high on almost every player on the Detroit Lions with Jared Goff, Jameer Gibbs, also David Montgomery, Amon Ra, Sam Laporta, and that was just the offensive side. But then I also saw what they got up on the defensive side and was like, ooh. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
ooh, that
I mean,
defense can actually be something serious if they get stuff to clicking.
there wasn't much holes for Bijan and Tyler Algier, but he also didn't run the ball with them. So
And we're going to go to the week 3 lows, everybody. The week 3 lows for the wide receivers. And we're going to start off with Mr. CeeDee Lamb. Have to definitely put this person on there because he did not perform. Let's put like this. None of the Cowboys performed to like where they were supposed to go.
Right.
Like, and then maybe this is one of those instances where Travion Diggs did get hurt and he did tear his ACL during practice. So maybe that could have messed up the little swing of the defense, but they had at least a couple of days. But personally, I think the Dallas Cowboys was going into Arizona thinking this was going to be a cakewalk, and they just got punched in the mouth.
Yep, feeling
They
themselves.
just got punched up in the mouth, and it's nothing really. CeeDee Lamb. Oh, well, shoot, he's on the Cowboys, so now I got to say he got punched in the mouth too. No. The other person that I have added to this list is there's no reason why he shouldn't be on this list, but I have to put him on here, especially because of where everybody else has been taking him prior to Aaron Rodgers getting hurt, and that's Mr. Garrett Wilson. We know that it is the QB. We all understand that. We understand that he would be better if he had, let's just say, even if he had a Jameis Winston, he would be better. But right now, Mr. Zach Wilson, you got Mr. Blind Bartimaeus back there daggone throwing him the ball. I'm talking about Mr. I'm seeing ghosts close to Sam Darnold seeing the ball. Remember, they drafted Zach Wilson just to replace Sam Darnold. And
they're a shit organization too. Call it
man.
what it is. They ain't been shit since '68. So fuck.
All right, and then these next two people, they are back up on the list again. They are back. They are back on the list. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm thinking these guys, they gonna be. I don't know if they ever gonna break out. Maybe if they go to like a better team. Maybe if they go to. I don't know, but like the last two players that I'm actually talking about is, if you're not understanding, if you didn't watch Week 1, and then what we talked about, it's the same thing every year. It's Mr. DJ Moore and Mr. Scary Terry McLaurin. We both know that these two wide receivers are very talented. Very talented. But they ain't performing at all. They got the most talent. And we understand they cannot choose their QBs. They can't choose the organizations that they go to. Even though when DJ Moore was in Carolina, he was doing his thing a little bit. He just wasn't scoring no touchdowns. Let's just call it spade. He just wasn't scoring no touchdowns. But now, I don't know what to say. Like, I put it like this. Like, right now, DJ Moore and Scary Terry, in order to get up in my lineup, up in fantasy, y'all got to show me something. Y'all got to prove to me that I can count on y'all. Because right now, how many DJ Moore and the Scary Terry owners out there are actually having them up in the flex, and now they're thinking that, okay, I got a good solid flex. But then next you know, all of a sudden, you're like, okay,
I'm taking out DJ Moore.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you. I do the same thing unless you don't have anybody better up in that slot down there. I take him out.
Buffalo defense showed up today, though. Buffalo defense showed up today.
I don't care who showed up.
Sam Howell threw 4 interceptions. So
Buffalo defense showed up today. Is Scary Terry stud? Well, I think he could be. Well, he is stud in my eyes if he actually had a good stud.
And you got John like Dawson too.
Yeah, but those are the Week 3 lows in the quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. We are talking about the bounce back players of Week 3. The bounce back players of Week 3. So, Chris, let us know some of these bounce back players of Week 3.
Off the top of my head, Deshaun Watson, big bounce back game. They were talking about him in the news. They were shit on him the first 2 weeks. He had a good bounce back week against the Tennessee Titans, Mike Vrabel's defense. So shout out to him. Shout goes out to him. Also, we had a bounce back week. I think Jordan Love had probably a good bounce back week. I think he lost last week. They were last time I saw
came back
down
and they actually beat
17-0. They're not like they won. What?
Yeah, that's one. Like, that was a good thing about Jordan Love this week. He did bounce back, but he did also beat. And like a lot of people got to realize, the Saints defense. Even though I will say, if anybody didn't watch the game, Derek Carr, and y'all probably already know this now too as well, Derek Carr did have a shoulder injury, and they had to bring in Jameis Wilson. And then after halftime, like, nothing was clicking for the Saints at all whatsoever. Nothing. But Jordan Love.
Yeah, if you want to say Mac Jones, I guess they got to win. They got to win. 20 yards, 1 touchdown. 20 yards, 1. Yeah. I mean, Jets supposed to have a good defense. I guess they only scored 15 points. So, who else? I think that might be it. I'm going to say as far as the bounce back week.
Yeah, I don't think.
It looks like Kenny Pickett is having one. Go ahead.
Do you want to say this person that had a bounce back week? I'm just gonna throw him out there and you let me know, yes or no. What about Mr. Alexander Madison? Did he have a bounce back week this week? He ain't been cited at all.
Considering what he had the first 2 weeks, 20 carries, 93 yards. That's a bounce back week. I'll give it to him.
Okay.
Let's put him in the bounce back week category.
All right, so we got the 3 bounce back of the weeks. We have Mr. John Watson. We had Mr. Jordan Love, and then we also had Mr. Alexander Madison.
Yeah.
In the last segment, we brought it back before. It was the question of this week, of week 3's question of the week, and it made me think whenever we was thinking about these questions of the week. It made me think, if just by going to the games, to like all the games, what are the 5 things that you gotta have when you're going to a football game?
Going to a football game? What?
In the stadium, what are the 5 things that you gotta have going into the football games?
Man,
I'm not including like tickets or like things like that, because you're already in the game. So there are 5 things that you gotta have. And for the people that are listening to this podcast, first of all, we'd like to thank y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to tell all your buddies and go and give us a 5-star rating. But question of the week: what are the 5 things that you gotta have? And this is just me asking personally. Leave your answers down up in the comments, and then we could talk about it. What is your 5 things that you gotta have when you're going into the football stadium? And I'm talking about, like, you can get into detail when it comes like the exact same thing, because personally, anytime I go to a Panther game, any game local, there's certain things that I gotta have. But it could be a certain type of daggone food that you gotta have it.
Oh, okay.
It could be a certain type of drink that you gotta have it. It's once I get into this stadium, I have to go get to the souvenir shop. I have to get something. But what is it that you have to have that is a must-have? 5 of them. If you can't do 5, just gonna give us your top 3. And like, let us, and don't be generic. Don't be saying, "Well, I gotta have my beer." Okay, what type of beer? Go detailed into it. Don't be talking about, "Oh, I gotta have my daggone alcohol." No, I don't care. We ain't talking about that, dog. I want to know. I want you to go deep into it. And hey, if somebody's watching this from daggone Vegas, I know your number one probably gonna be like, "Let me gamble up on the game." But let me know. Any last words you want to say, Chris?
No, I don't. 2 games tomorrow, doubleheader tomorrow again, 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
So looking forward to that. My Eagles play. Fly Eagles fly.
Yep.
Let's get this W. Let's beat the Buccaneers.
All right. I ain't gonna say anything like that because my team done lost already again, so we daggone 0-3. But my team 1B is actually doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good right now. We 2-1. But I would like to thank everybody once again for listening to the Cerberus Gridiron Podcast. This is week 3 in the NFL, but it's also episode 16 for us. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to tell all your buddies and to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and just all the list up above.
Yes. Thank y'all. We thank you for coming out. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
Thanks for checking out another episode of Cerberus Gridiron Podcast, powered by Cerberus Fantasy Sports. Make sure you stay tuned for the next episode.